What's up, guys? It's DKZ32 here with a video. It's my first video technically, unless you've been on the channel for a while. You've seen I've kind of started, stop. I'm trying to come to you guys with some really consistent content now. Right now, speaking of which, I'm in a Supra. So yeah, we're in a Supra. This is not the new Cobb. This is a car that I have just to kind of mess around with till I get my Z back. And speaking of the Z, I'm going to break down the story about what's happened to that and where it is right now. And this might be a 2-video or maybe even a 3-video series. So we're basically just going to break down what happened to the Z, where it is right now, and we might even go up there and go see it because new motor might be getting dropped in. Don't worry, you guys are going to get the whole story on that and why the Z is getting a new motor and this, that, and the third. But first, we're going to get bagels. Alright guys, we got the bagel, we got my coffee, we got my vitamin water. Bear with me because this camera is kind of brand new for me, but we're going to eat this and then we're going to get into the story about what happened to the 300ZX. Then maybe we're going to swing up by the mechanic and see what the progress on the car is like. So stick with me. Alright, so in case you guys were wondering, excuse my voice, I'd say the bagel is kind of dry, but you know, whatever. In case you guys were wondering, this is the Supra that I am driving right now. Whoa, okay, ignore that. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, kinda. With a professional camera I am, so bear with me. But this is the Supra that I've been using. This is my 3rd day with it, and yeah, I'm basically just having fun with this. Just haven't really driven anything in about a year. Speaking of which, we're gonna get right into that and what happened to the 300ZX and why I currently have this, even though it's not really mine. So just give me a second. I'm gonna set the camera up on a tripod, and I barely have any battery life, so this is gonna have to be quick. It's good. All right. It kind of sucks because I didn't bring a chair or anything, so door sill of the Supra is gonna have to do. So basically, like I said, I have very little time, very limited time. I'm sorry if the exposure of the camera isn't 100% correct for you guys, for your viewing experience. I'm just gonna try to get right into the story because of limited time. I'm sorry if there's a lot of background noise. I don't have a mic yet. Just get into what happened to the 300ZX. If there's any videos related to the things that I'm currently talking about, then I'm gonna drop them down. Actually, I'll just edit them in so you guys will see it as I'm talking about it. So basically, bought my 300ZX January 7th, 2020. Bought it as a birthday gift to myself. Got it for a steal price. I bought my 300ZX for $2,400. It had a misfire and an oil leak. It was leaking oil really bad. And long story short, basically I ended up putting my Instagram name on the rear quarter window of the 300ZX. And I used to go, if you guys are in the Jersey or New York area, you probably know the the mall, Garden State Plaza. If you don't, you could probably look it up. I used to go to Garden State Plaza after work every day to get lunch, or you know, just to eat in general. It was a lot later than lunchtime, but anyway, the mechanic that I have now actually found me parked up at GSP, and he sent me a DM because I wasn't by my car at the time. And so I ended up finding him. He fixed the oil leak and the misfire for me. It was just a fuel injector, like it's a common problem with 300ZXs. Then I started to get kind of dumb with the car. I will admit this. Next steps that I took and modifications that I did to the car were not the smartest, considering that I was daily driving the car pretty hard because I was excited to have the car. It was a nice sports car. I did respect it, but it was just too old to really be able to handle what I was dishing out. You know, I really shouldn't have been driving the car like that. I was driving it pretty hard, as I said. So long story short, I really wanted the car to flame and crackle and do all those things. Now, my 300ZX was a NA, and so it was also an automatic. And so, unfortunately, that's another story for another day. I know the whole automatic thing is really hated on in the whole car community. but we're gonna touch on that another day. Basically, I went out and I bought a BR rev limiter, a real one, not a replica, and I made sure it was a real one. I used it pretty generously, which I definitely shouldn't in hindsight. Hindsight's always 20/20. And what ended up happening was I ended up spinning a bearing. And so those of you that know cars, which I'm assuming most of you that are watching this video do, but if you don't, I'll explain it really quickly. Spinning a bearing basically means that the rod bearing inside the engine for whatever piston rod it is, it's been shaved down, and now you have excess movement inside of that little channel, I guess I'll call it. And so basically the end result of a spun bearing, like spun bearing, rod knock, and then after that you end up basically shooting part of a rod or part of a piston through the block. Now luckily that didn't happen to me. I carefully drove it all the way up to my mechanic's shop, and that's about where it's been since up to right now. I dropped it off there back it's been about a year and a month since I dropped it off, late 2020, so I only had the car for about 6-7 months before that happened, and I've like kind of hated myself ever since that happened, because it's like that was so preventable if I just had respected the car more. I love the car as a whole, but I should have respected what it was in the age and this, that, and the third. But I was asking way too much of the car in the state that it was in, which it's not that it was in bad state. You know, it only had 89,000 miles on it, so the motor was in pretty good condition. It's just that I was doing way too much, and I do know that now. As it's been up there, I'm getting a TT swap, a TT auto swap. So it's staying in automatic, which means I had to buy an automatic TT trans. I will end up swapping it to manual once I learn how to drive manual. All of those that currently drive manual will say, you know, it's not that hard, and I understand that, and I feel as though I would pick it up really quick. I just need to, you know, put in the time and the work and find someone to teach me, which I believe I already have. So that'll also be on YouTube, so you know, you guys, I'll make tons of videos out of that. That whole experience is bound to be hilarious and really interesting. So but basically right now it's getting a TT swap, pretty much stock everything. I bought a Twin Z front bumper, Type 3 rear bumper, front lip, and Type 3 wing for the car. I didn't do anything with side skirts yet, mainly because there's a tiny rust issue. When I say tiny, I mean it's kind of concerning, being that, you know, it's a 300ZX from the Northeast. You should probably expect that. But anyway, once we go back up there and, you know, we can, or well, I can show you the car, and I mean, honestly, I'm open for anything except for giving away the car, because I have like an attachment to that car. Like, I mean, if you're a car guy, you could probably understand that. It's my first car. It's one of those Japanese cars that I like dreamed about having, and because it was at such a low price, I was able to purchase it, and I really like that specific one. Is like the one that I need to have, and I don't know why I'm like that, but hopefully I'm not the only one. You guys can let me know in the comments below. But yeah, basically that's it. That's the whole story, and that's, you know, up to date where we are right now. That was a really shortened version of the story. Like I said, if I have any clips or anything, they will have been added already, so you guys will have seen them. We might go up and swing by my mechanic shop and check out the Z. He's supposed to be putting in the motor today, so that's going to be an awesome process to film too. That's probably going to be another video, and then there's just going to be tons of other car stuff on this video. This area, I live in Paterson, New Jersey. This whole area is full of car culture and tons of cool car meets, from park and chills to full sends. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun on the channel. If you feel like you're going to like the content, I would ask you to please give me a chance. Just subscribe, like this video, and keep on watching. Now, that probably isn't going to be the end of this video. Because we're still going to, hold on, let me just, all right, there we go. Like I said, it's my first time with this whole camera thing, so if you're from the Northeast area, or, you know, Paterson or whatever, you probably know where I'm at. This is a very well-known area in the car meet community up here, and so because of that, in the daytime it's very secluded and very empty, which is why I chose here to film this video, because I knew I probably wasn't going to get harassed by anyone. I know there's one security car that kind of goes around this area every now and then, but he doesn't seem to be around right now, so I'm not sweating it. Yeah, that's it for right now. If I come back, there's gonna be a cut. You guys are gonna see it. We might just go up to my mechanics and see what the progress is on the Z, and hopefully it's good news, and hopefully it's good content for you guys to look at, because that's really what I care about. So let's see.